Hi, congratulations. You are now on step 5, researching human reactions. It looks like this is due maybe a long time from now, depending on when you're watching this video. But this is one of those benchmarks that you can continue to work on at any point. So at any point, if you're feeling stuck, or maybe it's while you guys are at home, this is a really easy benchmark to take everyone's separate parts. They can do them on their own. And then when you get back together, you can check to see how you did. And you can move on. So I wanted to go ahead and have this ready for you. So you're going to put your group members here, put everyone's names, and then you're going to highlight the type of chemical reaction you have. So in order to highlight, you can just click, drag, and then you have your highlight up here, and you can choose what color you would like to highlight. Okay. Then we are going to brainstorm a list of human reactions that could relate to the chemical reaction that you just looked at. So when you click on this feelings wheel, it will take you to this, and you're going to see all kinds of human reactions and feelings. And it starts out here. So these are like the main ones: so peaceful, loving, trusting, intrigued, joyful, proud, angry, disgusted, afraid, surprised, sad, ashamed. And then as you go out, you can see even more specific more specific words to help. And so you can kind of look at this to get you some ideas on what human reactions you want to research and tie into your chemical reaction. So brainstorm a list. So list the different human reactions or emotions that can connect. And then think about what age group your audience is going to be. If you're going to do like a social media campaign, obviously your audience shouldn't be toddlers. So just kind of think about what age group you're wanting to work with. And then later you'll be able to decide what is the best final product for that age group. Next, you're going to highlight if it's going to be an internal or external. So again, if you click on this link, it's going to take you back to the website that you've been to before, and you're going to see your external assets and your internal assets. So you'll decide if you're wanting to work on the ones that other people can help control, or if they're the ones that the person inside of them, like you yourself, control. So you'll decide that, and then you'll get to decide which actual asset you want to focus on. So if you've decided internal, then you'll use the internal ones of these. And if you decide external, you would decide on one of the externals. And then depending on which of these that you decide, you are going to list the possible developmental assets that match in that category. So when you click on this one, it's going to take you to 40. So I want to give you an example. If you decided that you wanted to do an external asset, and you wanted to do support, well, that is fine. Then when you look here, you want to choose one of the first 6 developmental assets. If you chose empowerment, you would choose one of these 4, or some of these 4, to kind of brainstorm. Boundaries and expectations, you would choose one of these. If you chose constructive use of time, there you go. And you can just see as you scroll down through, you see all of them. Positive identity would be one of these 4. So once you have chosen internal, external, what type of asset, then you'll talk about the specific developmental asset you want to focus on. Next, this is the part that it's really easy to do individually. So if you could collaborate to get this first part done, then when you get to the second page, what you're going to do is you just decide who in your group is going to research which of these topics. So who will research the who questions. So you'll discuss this age group, interests, struggles, others, who is usually impacted by the reaction of this age group, just whatever you can about the age group that you chose, whether it's toddlers or middle schoolers, high schools, whatever. Some person will have to research the what, and here gives you some examples of what details you can give about the human reaction in this age group, what lasting effects can this reaction have on the age group. And so depending on what you're doing, you can use Google, you can find some good articles to support your research. There's also where and why. And then you'll see with the when, this cannot be the only one you do. So 4 people in your group, 1, 2, 3, 4, someone will need to do 2 since there's who, what, when, where, why. And so someone needs to do a second one. That second one will be the when. When does this reaction normally occur for this age group? To me, that won't take a whole lot of research. You know when people are angry, or you know how when people are happy. And so it won't take a lot of research. Once you get that finished, once everyone has their part done, speaking of that, this will be graded mostly individually, meaning if your name is here, or let's say Rap does who, Spurgeon's in charge of what, Minnick does where, I'm in charge of why, and Minnick doesn't do her part, then the other 3 of us get the points for this benchmark, but not Minnick. And so you have to do your part right here before you will get the points for this benchmark. That also means everyone's name needs to make sure is listed here, and that you don't do the other person's. Like, you do your part of the research. Don't do anyone else's in your group. Okay. They need to do that. And then when it comes time for us to grade it, if theirs isn't done, you get the points, they don't. Okay. So this one's very easy for us to grade individually based on the research. So then once everyone has the research, because everyone will do their part, then you're going to do a conclusion paragraph. So how are you going to show positive change through the use of developmental asset in your chemical reaction? Thinking about this age group. So you've done all of this research here about the who, what, when, where, why of maybe toddlers being angry. And then down here, now that you know all this information about toddlers and how they get angry and what helps them and why and blah, 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 how are you going to show a positive change through the use of developmental assets in that chemical reaction, or in your chemical reaction? So how are you going to take all of the stuff that you just researched about your age group and put it into this project? So that's kind of your final conclusion there. And then one last thing on this, see next page. Hopefully that'll still be at the bottom of yours, but if not, it'll be fine. From your research, list 5 tips that you can use in your final product to help the viewers improve the developmental asset you're teaching about. So if I'm teaching about positive values, restraint, I believe it is important not to be sexually active or to use alcohol or other drugs. If that's the one that your group wants to work on, what are 5 tips that you can help people improve in that developmental asset by reading or listening or looking at your final product at the end of this? So this is a huge benchmark. This is a big benchmark to see like how the meat of this project is going to work out for you. So please make sure you do your very best on it, and always reach out if you have any questions. Thank you.